Yo guys, what's going on? Robert Warshak here, and we're going to be taking a look at this sweet Malygos Handlock Dragon Warlock. It was a really popular deck on ladder for a little bit, then it kind of fizzled out, and I'm assuming that's because of all the hunters and rogues, and that just allows me the perfect time to play it because no one's expecting it. For those of you unfamiliar with how we do these videos, I'm going to talk about each and every card in the deck, why it's in there. From there, we're going to head into some ranked games. You're going to see the deck in action, and hopefully be able to replicate that on ladder. So with that, let's take a look at the deck. So looking at the Mortal Coil, it's just a 1 mana, deal 1. If it kills a minion, it draws a card. It just clears up little guys. If you don't have enough damage to kill a bigger guys, it's just left over at 1. You're not like a mage where you can use 2 mana to ping something. So Mortal Coil just does a really good job at clearing up smaller stuff and going even 2 for 1 because you're technically killing the minion, they're losing the minion, and you're drawing the card. So it's just a really solid. So moving to Soulfire, it's a 1 mana, deal 4 damage. You discard a card, but most of the time when you discard a card, doesn't really matter too much because of how much draw this deck has. Being able to tap every turn, having Felg George in the deck, you just have a ton of draw, and discarding a card for the most part isn't that big of a deal. Plus, you're normally using this to just win the game anyway with Malygos. So we'll get to, when we get to Malygos, I'll talk about Soulfires and the Nether Breaths, but overall Soulfire in this meta is pretty solid. Doomsayer, how do you not play a Handlock without playing Doomsayer? Being able to throw this guy out on turn 2 or 3, which just buys you time to play bigger minions like Frizz, Twilight Drake, Giant on 4 or 5. Really solid. Doomsayer also sets up really nice turns with Malygos, Draxus, and Alexstrasza, and things like that. Nether Breath, one of the best new Warlock cards out there. It's a 2 mana, but if you're holding a dragon, it does 4 damage and it has lifesteal. So it's basically a 4 for 4 swing, and it's insane in combination with, like I said, cards like Malygos earlier in Soulfire. Really solid. So going like Nether Breath, Soulfire, 12 damage from hand, and you only spent what, 5 mana? So it's just a crazy amount of damage, and the lifesteal, is obviously a really good part of the card. So moving to Dark Skies, this is basically the new replacement for Hellfire. It's a 3 mana, deal 1 damage to a random minion, repeat for each card in your hand. So really solid removal for just 3 mana. Granted, it does hit your own minions, but in the early stages of the game, you're not really playing any minions. So you just like tap on 2, play Dark Skies on 3, or tap on 3, play Dark Skies on 4. It doesn't really matter. This card's most of the time going to be able to clear whatever your opponent's going to be playing in the first 5 turns of the game, just because of how much card draw, 1, this deck has, and 2, just how powerful this card is. Looking at Snip Snap, same reason we play Ziliax, same reason we play Snip Snaps. You can play it on 3, 6, 9. It combos with the Ziliax. It's just the best, one of the best neutral legendaries out there, and coincides exactly with why we play Ziliax. Moving to Frizz, we do play a decent amount of dragons in the deck, and being able to discount those guys by 2 is pretty sick. On curve, this card's insane. Granted, if you play this card like when you only have 10 cards left in your deck, or you've drawn most of your dragons, it's not that great. But a lot of the times, being able to land Frizz on like a Malygos, a Dragon Queen Alexstrasza, a normal Alexstrasza, Twilight Drakes, Crazed Netherwing, it's just a really solid card if played, normally in the beginning to mid half of the game. Obviously, late game not that good, but we definitely try to mulligan for it. Looking at Spellbreaker, there's a lot of cards we'd like to silence out there. There's a lot of death rattles that are really good. Everybody's playing Snip Snap, so when they load up a Snip Snap, you can Spellbreaker it. They play Ziliax, you Spellbreaker it. You need to get through a taunt, you Spellbreaker it. It's just a really solid card, and I've always enjoyed at least one Spellbreaker in Handlock. Twilight Drake, again, we're running Handlock. We're running the Dragon package with the cards like, the Nether Breath and the Frizz. So of course we play Twilight Drakes most of the time. We're going to be able to play this card. It's going to have, upwards of 7+ HP. Crazed Netherwing, again, if you're holding a dragon, dragon synergies, it's going to deal 3 damage to all other characters. So it has a Hellfire built into a 5/5 body of a dragon. This card's just insane. Ziliax, again, same reason we run the Snip Snaps, just one of the best neutral legendaries that you can play in a deck. Plus it has heal. Warlock has a hard time healing itself because we tap so much, so pretty solid. Abyssal Summoner, one of the new Warlock cards. Summon a demon with taunt and stats equal to your hand size. Most of the time our hand size is pretty good because we have that life tap, and we do have the Fel George in this deck. So just solid. Siphon Soul, single target removal. It heals us. This is kind of a tech. If you want to run Zephyrus instead of Siphon Soul, you can. Right now, I just found that Siphon Soul it's just been a really good card for me. Just being able to get rid of whatever I want, plus the ability to heal off of it's pretty solid. Moving down to the Joffrey, this is a great removal tool. One of my favorite sort of mechanics. It reminds me of Defile. Defile was one of my favorite cards, and most of the time he's going to be be able to clear up a board, and you can clear up some pretty nasty boards with this guy if you line it up appropriately. New Warlock Legendary Battlecry, increase your maximum hand size to 12 and draw 4 cards, and he's in a 4/4 body. This guy is really, really good, and synergizes with all of the cards that require cards in our hand to be discounted. Looking at Twilight Drake, looking at Abyssal Summoner, looking at Mountain Giant, so good. Twisting Nether, it's an 8 mana oh shit button. I like oh shit buttons. I like being able to play a card and it kills everything if need be. This is why I like the card. Alexstrasza, this is just solid. Again, we're running the whole dragon package, being able, let's say we're doing a more control-oriented route in the early stages of the game. We don't get to do that much damage. Alexstrasza can be used offensively to take our opponent down to 15. If we've got like 2 giants out or a giant and a minion, we can just Alexstrasza, attack face, followed up with like a Soulfire or something. It's just really good burst. Or we can use it defensively if our opponent's playing a very aggressive style deck. You know, we're down to, you know, lower than normally 10 HP is where you'd look at using Alexstrasza on yourself. You heal yourself back up. Maybe you can live a couple extra turns and finish out the game. So the other Dragon Queen Alexstrasza, probably a lot of questions are going to be on this. Hey Rob, I see you're running Alexstrasza, but there's duplicates in the deck. Why are you doing this? First of all, this is more of a late game card because this deck taps and draws so much. A lot of the times we'll be able to play Dragon Queen Alexstrasza in like the bottom 10 of our deck. And she's sort of our late game. If Malygos can't do it, if the Giants can't do it, Alexstrasza can. And then there's going to be like, hey Rob, why don't you run Zephyrus? Well, in situations where Alexstrasza, it's already going to be a dead card for like, let's say most of the game. If we're playing against a control deck, it's going to be really useful and that's good. But against aggro, most of the time it'll never get to this point where I'll need Alexstrasza or she'll never be active. If I add another card like that, like Zephyrus, I'm just loading in on more being better against other control decks, but not as good against aggro, right? And I found that there's more aggro in this meta, and if I had to pick between Zephyrus and Dragon Queen Alexstrasza, I'm going to pick Dragon Queen Alexstrasza because her high rolling potential is just, I think, better than Zephyrus. While Zephyrus does give you the best card, that card screwed me over way too many times, and Dragon Queen kind of like, depending on the dragon she gives you, just wins you the game. Granted, Zephyrus also can win you the game, but I don't know. I opted for Dragon Queen. You can play Zephyrus if you want, take her out, put a Zephyrus in, or you can also take out, like, you know, for example, a Siphon Soul and put it in a Zephyrus. That's fine too. But again, if you're putting in the more, your deck has no duplicate cards, you're opting for more of a control game plan and a very slower deck. Moving down to Lord Jaraxxus, another interesting pick. I always played Lord Jaraxxus in any handlock deck I play. Again, I'm going to answer this. Oh my God, Rob, how are you going to play this card? People are going to play Zephyrus and then they're going to sack pack your Lord Jaraxxus. All right. So there's a really cool thing you can do so your opponent's Zephyrus doesn't kill your Lord Jaraxxus. If you know your opponent's playing a Highlander deck, which really isn't that hard to tell, you don't play Lord Jaraxxus until you see them play Zephyrus. I know it's a crazy sort of thing that like some of you haven't heard, but you can do that, and then you won't lose that way. But I can't believe how many comments I get on Twitch and stuff when I throw in Lord Jaraxxus and people just flip out because it dies to Zephyrus. It's like, okay, well, let's just wait. And they play the Zephyrus. They don't obviously know we're playing Jaraxxus. And then you just play it after that and they don't get sack packed. So easy peasy. And this guy just wins games. Believe it or not, Jaraxxus is a homie. Malygos, we went over the kind of the win condition when we talked about Soulfires and Nether Breaths. Being able to use this guy with Frizz, it costs 7 mana. We combo that with spells, or we play 1 Malygos and we just use a single Soulfire. You know, at 10 mana, deal 9 is actually pretty good. Malygos Soulfire wins games, believe it or not. And if it gets discounted, it's just even better. It's just one of the many win conditions of the deck. It adds a little spice and flair to it, and I like it. Mountain Giant, again, part of the handlock package, has been there for a really long time. Most of the time, playing a Giant on turn 4 is very, very good. 5 at the latest, or really any time during the game playing a Giant is good. But ideally, having this guy in the mulligan, being able to throw him down on turn 4 or 5 is pretty good. Granted, this deck is up to, there's a lot of room for changes. So if you don't agree with something or you don't like something, you're like, Rob, you need this. How can you do this? Change it out. You can, sure, you'll do well with it. This is just this is the list that I played. I liked it a lot. But again, this is the sort of deck that you can change around a lot and it'll still be good. So with that, if you enjoyed the deck, like the list, does you well, throw a like, throw a comment section below. Super helps the video out. Tells me I like this kind of format, and I love reading your guys' feedback. And with that, let's head into the games, boys, and enjoy.
Gul'dan versus Illyria.
Tremble before the might of the elves.
Your soul shall be mine.
Do we keep Breath against Hunter? Probably. True, I mean, the version I've been having the most success with is Sonaris and Power of the Wild One. Oh, I haven't seen that one. Need to try out the Mali. Played a ton of it in Uldum. Haven't tried it out yet. This expansion, I hate how Divine Shield comes back with the reborn. Yeah, that 10/10 is so obnoxious if you just can't deal with it. It's just like, oh, I'm just gonna slap this card down. It's insanely bad if your opponent has saps, but it was a randomly generated card, so. You gotta hate tapping against Hunter, but in this situation, it's a have to do thing. Yeah, turn 3 already at 22. All right though. Oh God. Isn't Draxus an insta lose versus Zephyrus? It is. I'm gonna let you think about a play that you can make that you don't lose against the Zephyrus. You got one attempt. I'm assuming that's a freezing trap. He played it so much that if it's a freezing trap, he played it so confidently that there's no way that it can be a freezing trap. Aha, that's why I played the Drake first, because if it misdirects and hits my face, I lose. If it misdirects and hits the Drake, I'm okay. There you go, Ezer. Ezer knows. Wow, what a clear. I tap. No, I have so much draw next turn. Next turn I'll be at 9, play this. So I actually have to Nether Breath him in the face. Because if I don't, I'm going to end up overdrawing with this guy. I'm not doing UBRS tonight, Azura. I'd be playing on my Druid. That's what my therapist says. Really? You're gonna commit a mark shot to this? No, a deadly? No, what would be 3 mana to target this? What would be a 3 mana targetable that he could have killed it for 4? It can't be mark shot. Hunter's mark? He was gonna Hunter's mark that? I don't know, man. Seems funky.
We must expand our minds.
I mean, we're not really doing any end game raid stuff. We're just doing some transmog stuff. We're just running all of the old dungeons for transmog. But I mean, it's still nostalgic. I still enjoy it. And plus, I'm playing a new character. Messing around with a druid for the first time. It's pretty fun. Being able to do range DPS, melee DPS, tank, or heal. Like druid healing is my most favorite healing in the game. This guy's just straight up dragon, unless he created this dragon off of the other dragon. No, he's just straight dragon. Okay. So I see like a frizz. Yeah, I see a frizz kill this. All right, thank God. I guess I could have Dark Skies and killed the 1/3, but I don't think it's really worth that. I don't think I need to Soulfire either. And I really don't want to Doomsayer because I have no turn 9 play, so I just have to kind of accept this. Not Huffer. Hogs. Yeah, we have Alexstrasza for heal, Draxus for heal, Abyssals for taunts. It's definitely not over. This is heal. Kill command, attack, hero power, we're at 1. Unless he didn't attack with this guy and he's just roping me. No, he attacked with that guy. Hello, brethren.
You face Jaraxxus, Lord of the Burning.
Hello, homie. Tell me how Draxus is bad. Just saved my fucking ass. Traxxas just saved my ass. Probably explosive. Misdirect? Alright. Fucking guy runs 2 misdirects. I can't believe the guy runs 2 misdirects. That just fucking baited the shit out of me. Well, if I live this turn, I win. If I die this turn, I lose. He already kill commanded, though. So. I don't play around 2 misdirections. Like, if that's just the only secret I saw. Holy shit. He didn't kill me? Alright, I win this game as long as the Soulfire doesn't discard the other Soulfire. Tell me how Jiraxis is bad. Tell me more about how Jiraxis is bad.
Gul'dan versus Tyrande.
You give me strength.
Your soul shall be mine.
Fuck, against a priest? Oh, that's not good. I especially love when I'm winning an entire game and they get double Emrys. Oh my god, Emrys is like the worst feeling ever. I feel that. I've never gotten Emrys off of it, but I understand. Holy shit, I hate it when they get Emrys. That is like the worst feeling ever. The plan is Azure shoots peas while Rob yells. Rob is literally a tree. Dude, Snail, the other night, I'm sitting there like trying to heal myself, running around in a circle. Dude, I was playing out of my mind, dude. You saw what was going on, dude. Holy shit, I was sitting at like 4,000 health for like 45 seconds. It's like, oh my god. That was the shit, dude. I was popping every cooldown that I had, and even cooldowns I didn't even think I had. I just fucking found. Like popping stuns and popping everything. I was popping buns. I'm actually gonna, I think I'm gonna save the coin this matchup so I can go Malygos, Soulfire, coin Soulfire, or yeah, something like that. But I have to Alexstrasza first. I don't know how I'm supposed to play this match out. I know I definitely probably want to save coin. No, Mythic Legion is in our grasp. We just have to be both 120 and be at least like semi-geared through like LFR gear. LFR gear is probably fine. It's just that you've got shitty gear and I'm not 120. Between the two things right there. Legion fucking Mythic is, yeah. I ever wonder if like Jiraxis is also a way we can win. I gotta use something here. I have too many cards in my hand, which blows. gonna do 10 damage. So if I trade this, it goes to 5, and then if I play this, I guess I could also hit him for another 3 and save Siphon Soul. I think it's best that I get rid of this out of my hand, though. The problem is he gets closer to his quest. No. This is the play. If he plays, and the reason that this is the play is because of Xerox Cloning Gallery. I've got to play around Cloning Gallery. That sucks for me. Oh, it looks like I'm gonna be using coin or using Soulfire. One of the two. I think I'm gonna opt for the coin. Didn't really want to do that, but we had to. What's it about? Ugh. Gross. Do we have to have some board assemblance when I do the Alexstrasza? And I think Draxus is going to be a good card. We'll see. I just have to keep trying to exhaust him out of resources. And it sucks that we no longer have, like, the Frizz never came in contact either. So if, like, we could have frizzed Malygos, it'd be awesome. But, like, I didn't even get to do that, you know? Just scuff all the way around, boys. So this hit one dragon. Frizz hit a singular dragon. We drew every single large-scale dragon. Oh god, that sucks, wieners.
We must expand our minds.
I swear I just heard Captain Falcon in this song. Captain Falcon. I still don't have Dragon Queen active.
You face Jaraxxus, Paladin Lord of the Burning Legion.
All right, Draxus, shut him down. Shut him down, shut him down, shut him down, shut him down. Who are the neighbors? All right. You gotta play that fucking, that dank shit.
Look what I brought!
Right here. It's that hype shit. This is what's gonna win us this game. Who? 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 Who the neighbors? Do I see a lethal? I see 14. I see so close.
I wonder.
Your magic shall not save you.
When they're sitting on 40 acres, who the neighbors? From the lake, that ass and papers. That ass and papers. Alright, we have lethal with Goose next turn if he doesn't heal. And if he does, we have the weapon.
The end begins.
I ride the Roddy. He has to mass this area now. Oh my god, he pentenced. No! No! Sitting on 40 acres. Who the neighbors? Alright, back to lethal. Malygos Soulfire weapon is lethal again. Yeah! Yeah! I told you that Who the Neighbors by Juicy J was how we are gonna win. Because we got that ass and paper. Because Who the Neighbor.